Most people get sick on the rides at an amusement park. I started feeling ill building and running the things while playing Theme Park, a business simulation that gives you the chance to take charge of your own carnival.
Well, this new game from Bullfrog certainly moves at a dizzying pace. Not everyone enjoys the tilt-a-whirl, but I was kind of exhilarated by the whole thing. I'm probably getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, and running out of cute metaphors. As far as management games go, this is actually a pretty good idea. All of the staples of running a business are there. Capital construction, hiring, firing, and negotiating with employees, buying supplies, research, banking, and competing with other parks. I just think this would have been much easier to follow with a better graphics package.
Maybe, but I thought the graphics style really added a lot to the amusement park feel of the game. The amount of control you have over park elements ranges from sandbox, which roughly translates into, "Ooh, look at the pretty pictures," to the boggling full simulation where you are personally responsible for such minor details as how much caffeine goes in the cola.
Your customers scurry hither and yon around the park with bubbles straight out of the Sunday comics floating above their heads. The bubbles contain some pretty important information concerning the public's attitude towards your business. Unfortunately, until you've played the game about 100 times and memorized what the bubbles mean, you have to change menus and see what adjustments you need to make to satisfy your customers.
Yes, you need to learn the symbols over time, but even when you have no idea what's going on, the game keeps you entertained until you understand. It's also true that the actual game graphics cannot compete with the dazzling opening animation. But I liked the cartoony visuals, and I found myself laughing a lot at the sound effects, which ranged from cash registers to chain reaction puking children.
The lack of easily accessible information is a fairly large flaw for a strategy game, but I don't mean to suggest that the game is entirely worthless. The designers definitely had a sense of humor. For instance, when you hire a maintenance man, the first thing he does is spread out his lunch and take a break. Also, you can't help but laugh when the bouncy castle ride finally breaks down completely and literally sails off into the wild blue yonder.
The amount of detail here kept me coming back for more. If you're unlucky enough to completely empty not only your pockets but wipe out your loan as well, the game ends with a beautifully animated suicide attempt. Don't worry, you didn't really do it. It's even fun when the unions are trying to shaft you. You go into this negotiation screen, and if you can't settle your contract trouble by the time the sprinkled cookies run out, you've got a strike on your hands. There are few things sadder than a man wearing a squid suit walking a picket line.
I still have mixed feelings towards Theme Park. Its heart is in the right place, but I'm not sure a great sense of humor is enough to overcome a business simulation that doesn't give you important information right when you need it.
That's your problem. You insist on looking at this as a hardcore business simulation, when first and foremost it's intended to be a fun toy to play with that happens to have a money-making element involved. While Theme Park's interface is occasionally awkward and its symbols slightly obscure, I think what you're harping on is a pretty minor problem. The game is well worth the price of admission.